Those of you familiar with the movie Shallow Hal will know that it tells the story of a hapless man searching for love who is put under a kind of spell by a therapist so that he can only see the inner beauty of women rather than their external appearance. This ends up with Hal falling in love with a girl who he thinks looks like this, when in reality she actually looks like this.
Holy shit!
Ange Postecoglou seems to be under a similar spell when it comes to Rodrigo Bentancur. Bentancur, as we all know, looks like this. But when Ange looks at him, what he sees is this. Now, I know what you're all going to say, that Bentancur played in that position against Frankfurt, turned in a man of the match performance and was probably our best player on the night. And I agree, Bentancur was superb against Frankfurt. And he's capable of turning in performances like that as he's a quality footballer. Certainly in the top 3 players at Spurs in terms of technique and ability. But I get the impression that Frankfurt came not to lose on Thursday, rather than trying to win the game. And that made Bentancur's life very easy, as essentially, when we had the ball, Frankfurt barely pressed us and just dropped into a low block. The return leg at their place could be very different. They will go after us, they'll press us high, and Premier League results tell us that this is when Bentancur can get overwhelmed. When you watch Bentancur's movement off the ball, his first instinct is to drift forward. When we're in possession, he creeps further and further forward without even realising he's doing it. And when the opposition turn the ball over, he's often out of position and doesn't really have the athleticism or the legs to cover the ground and make recovery tackles. This isn't because he's a bad player, he's not, but he is and always has been a number 8. He plays number 8 for his country, Uruguay, with Ugarte at 6. He played at number 8 for Juventus, with Manuel Locatelli playing the role of deep line midfielder. This is a really interesting article from Old Juve, one of the most popular Juventus websites. Written in 2021 when Max Allegri had just arrived back at the club following Andrea Pirlo's disastrous season in charge. Pirlo played Bentancur at the base of the midfield and Juve were being dominated in nearly every game. Allegri immediately remedied the problem by playing Locatelli as the deep line midfielder and moving Bentancur to the more advanced number 8 role. Here's the main takeaways from that article. It's a small sample size, but the early signs suggest that this is not only Juventus' best midfield partnership, but a pretty good pairing overall. Balance has been the key. Locatelli, while a complete midfielder, is adept at sitting deeper in a metronomic role, orchestrating Juve's build-up and covering space from a deeper position. Bentancur, on the other hand, lacks the technical security to be a member of the build-up and is more suited to occupying a more advanced position where he can create positional superiorities between the lines. This midfield dynamic somewhat resembles Chelsea's under Antonio Conte during their 2016-17 title-winning campaign. Locatelli's playing the holding Nemanja Matic role that allows Bentancur, the N'Golo Kante in this instance, to roam and destroy, hassling and pressing opponents higher upfield. So, while Juventus midfield remains a work in progress under the returning Allegri, the Manuel Locatelli-Rodrigo Bentancur pivot has proved a stabilising combination. Now, Allegri, dare I say it, is a much more accomplished manager than Ange Postecoglou, and if he immediately recognised that Bentancur was not suited to the deep line role, then I'm going to take his opinion over Ange's any day of the week. Our best performance of the season was undoubtedly the 4-0 away victory at reigning champions Man City. The midfield for that game was Basuma at 6, Pap Sarr at 8 and Maddison at 10. Not the best midfield 3 in the world, but providing the key quality that every midfield needs: balance. Now, love him or hate him, Yves Bissouma is a genuine defensive midfielder who possesses qualities that Bentancur doesn't. He's athletic, he's quick over the first 5 yards, he spots danger, he can drive forward from the base of the midfield, he has decent positional awareness and he plays very simple. Win the ball and give it to someone who's got some talent. If we're to stand any chance of beating Frankfurt at their place, we must control the midfield. And so, my message is this: Ange, break the spell, pick a balanced midfield. The Bentancur experiment at number 6 has failed and the results prove it. Revisit that amazing day at the Etihad and remember how the game was won there. Frankfurt are decent, but they're not Man City and we can turn them over. We can absolutely beat these fuckers, but my instinct tells me that Bentancur could get completely overwhelmed playing at CDM. Give him some help and we will reach the semi-finals. Come on, you Spurs!